Good afternoon. I just wanted to give you a quick tutorial of the signal plotter and what we have so far. We've come a long way, so this will be coming shortly. Visual plotter itself right there where the entry is going to go. In this case, it was a long. When it does trip, it's going to put a entry executable order right here. If it doesn't come down and get the order, then it's going to cancel after the end of these bars here. Now this is set for 21, and I'll go over the indicators later. This is a 21 bar cancellation area, so it'll stay that long. If it comes down and actually executes the order, then it will automatically use your ATM to put your, what I call a catastrophic stop. So my catastrophic stop is going to jump down here somewhere, and my target's going to jump up there. As soon as it gets a few ticks into the order or bar into the order and calculates, that target will snap down to this first line right here, and the stop will snap to this stop line right here. And those are dynamically set internally, and the further target is again dynamically set further. What you do need to have is a ATM. Now, ATM for one contract is NQ1, and for two contracts, NQ2. You don't necessarily have to have it in here, but it has to be saved inside of NinjaTrader and created. Now, I have mine set for stop loss of 60, my catastrophic stop, and my target is for 100. But again, as I said, it's going to snap down to these dynamic levels. I have no stop strategy. If you want some, you could do it, and it would work appropriately. There is some logic in here that if some conditions change, it will cancel the order. We're going to add, based on some recommendations from some of the beta testers, that we're going to put a enable switch in there so you could enable it to don't take out stops automatically, let me do it. And then you'll be in 100% control of your stops. And if you have the logic do it, then it'll might just all of a sudden you'll get in, and then you might get out right away because it just doesn't set up anymore. That said, let me give you a little orientation. So down here, you're online. You can see you're online and you're receiving the signals. And over here, you can see you're trading and you're enabled. And that's based on this right here. So when you first turn on the indicator, anytime you come in here, if you've made a change or you've added your own indicator or an EMA or whatever it might be, as soon as you come in and record that and change that settings, it's always going to default to pause. So to have that come off, that trading disabled, you have to make it active, and it's now active, ready for a trade. However, I'm in sleep mode because my settings are set to turn off at, or don't take any new trades at 356, and I won't take any more. This is on version 5. You can see it's today's date, our version, and we've kicked out 5 versions just today. So you want to make sure that you check the notes and make sure that you have the latest version. Some versions might be just some cosmetics that we think are great and we just spit them out. And other cosmetics might have something to do with logic, and it's really important. So you want to try to always keep fresh up to date. If for whatever reason you have lost connection or you don't have a connection down here, then you can just hit this connect button and it'll reestablish a connection, because that's where the signals are being generated from. You could put on other chart or other indicators if you wish, as I mentioned. I sometimes will run with the target zone. You're more than welcome to get that. I have the status box up here because I like to watch my margin. With these prop firms, very, very tough, so you got to watch that. All these are under the tripper.com, and then the tools tab. This is a status box. The two that I would recommend would be status box to watch your margin, and the target zones, because even though you have a target up here, it might just be a few ticks before that or something. So it just gives you a zone area. And any other indicator that you want to put on here, you're more than welcome to do that. So let's go through some of the important things. Under your control center, under options, go to tools, options, and go to the ATI, the automated trading interface, and you want to make sure that's enabled. You want to make sure that's checked. SIM account is fine, everything else is fine. Just to make sure that is on, because that is what actually executes your orders. So if you're getting these signals but your orders aren't being executed, it could be that reason right there. Another reason it could be is that you don't have your ATM. As I mentioned earlier, you have to have an ATM saved as NQ1 or NQ2, depending on how many contracts, because of the fact that's hard-coded. And then under the indicators, there we go. So I have mine set for different prices. You can go with the defaults or not. The alerts are empty. They're not any default alert in there. I've added these. You could put whatever alert you'd like in there. You would pick your account. It should default to SIM. You could change that if you wish. And there's the cancel if not filled order. Remember I mentioned earlier about how many bars this is, 21. You could change that if you want it to come off sooner. But right now, 21 is where we're starting at, and it'll stop at that point, and then it'll cancel the order if it doesn't pull back to get it. And then over here is colors for these markers and thickness and things like that, depending on how you'd like to see them. We're trying to stay away from whites and blacks because people with black screens can't see black font, like this one right here. And people with white screens can't see yellow font. So we're trying to stay away from those two, but if we'll try to come across that as we come to it. And scrolling further on down, you'll have your email address, and these two email addresses in the token are required for authentication with the server. You need to be able to have those, so we could send you your token along with your email address. That has to be in there. It's not case sensitive, but we do have to have the correct email address. It's only going to run on NASDAQ, and it should automatically default to the same as the import series or panel 1. It should do that all automatically. So that's it for the indicators. Any other indicator you put on here is totally on you. You're more than welcome to. It's not going to hurt anything. And that's really about it. So just for today, okay, so trade performance for today was this right here. This is our day and our runs. This is what we had today. So, and there's our overall. This is net. Other than that, I think that should give you a tutorial. So I would welcome you to come into the trade room. If you have any technical issues or questions, by all means, it's just easier to talk in there. If you send me a text or chat, I'll get to it. That's fine. Or social hour, if you have any issues, we could share screens, and you could see mine during the trade room, or in after the market and social hour, we could chit chat and share screens and fix any troubleshooting errors that we might have. But I guess the only main thing is that you get your token and your email address put in there. Make sure you have a NQ1 for one contract or NQ2 for two targets put in there. I would recommend using one contract, especially at the beginning, and especially if you're trading sim, that's fine. But if you're trading one of these prop firm accounts, NASDAQ, you only could do one contract. You don't have enough margin for two. You take two back-to-back losers and you can kill your margin. So we don't want to see that happen. Sim is always the safest way to do it, just to kind of get a feel for it. Other than that, that's all she wrote. All right, thanks. Bye.